Hey, my friend, and welcome to Aligned to Rise, the podcast for ambitious women who are ready to rise above their symptoms, release old limitations, and fully rise into their true power and potential. I'm your host, Alyssa Chavez, functional nutritionist, performance coach, and former endo and infertility warrior who knows what it's like to feel held back by your body and your beliefs. I've taken a journey of true healing from the inside out so that I can show up feeling great in my body, confident and unstoppable. And now I'm here to help you do the same. Through a blend of functional nutrition and deep mindset work, this show will empower you to reclaim your vitality, trust your intuition, and live unapologetically in your purpose. If you're ready to align your body, mind, and spirit so you can rise to your highest potential, you're in the right place. Let's rise, my friend. This show was created for educational purposes only and should not be used as a replacement for medical advice or treatment. Hey, my friend, and welcome back to the podcast. So, have you ever had bloating, fatigue, mood swings, PMS kind of symptoms, and wondered or asked the question, is it my gut or is it my hormones? Well, what I would love to introduce to you today is what if it's both? And what if your nervous system and your gut and your hormones are actually part of that same domino chain? Now, I have been in practice for about 5 years now as a functional nutritionist, working one-on-one with clients. And the more that I learn, the more that I work with people, the more people that I talk to and just bodies that I work with, all of the things, the more that I practice, the more I realize how very interconnected everything is in your body. And honestly, this is kind of a side note, but in my personal opinion, I think this is really one of the missing pieces in our medical community, is that so often if you have, say, a gut issue, you go to a gut doctor. They don't call it a gut doctor, but a GI doctor. If you're having trouble with your hormones, they might send you to an OBGYN or maybe an endocrinologist, but it's all very separate, looking at the individual systems of the body. And the more that I learn, the more that I recognize how very interconnected everything is, both in my personal clinical experience and if you really look at the research, that shows that as well. And we're actually going to talk about some of that today as we unpack all of this. Because I know for me, I used to think that everything was kind of on a separate plane. So I was having period pain, PMS symptoms. I was also having bloating and gut issues and really a whole lot of things going on. And I really thought of them as separate pieces. Like, well, okay, I have this stuff going on with my periods and my hormones, and I also have this stuff going on with my gut. And I'm also stressed out all the time, but I did not realize how very interconnected all of those pieces are and how much they really influence each other. So today, what I would love to do with you is unpack how your gut, your nervous system, and your hormones are all so very interconnected so that you can stop chasing those isolated fixes for that one individual problem and start supporting the whole system instead. And be sure to stay tuned for the end, because if this is really what you're struggling with and an area that you need support, I have something for you that you're not going to want to miss out on. So be sure to listen on to the very end. So first of all, let's talk about the gut-brain axis, because I think this is really important to know. Typically, when you think about your gut, your brain is probably not the first thing that comes to mind, but it is very, very interconnected. So the biggest thing that I want you to know about this is that there really is a two-way communication network between your central nervous system and your enteric nervous system. Now, if you're not super familiar with all of this, just to give you a little overview, your central nervous system is really this the central part of your nervous system. That includes your brain, your spinal cord, really that kind of main neural pathway that connects to everything else in your body. And the enteric nervous system is really a network of neurons in the GI tract that controls digestion autonomously, because we know digestion really happens whether we think about it or not. And that system helps to regulate digestion, absorption of nutrients, and motility, which is the pace that things are moving through your digestive tract. So, first off, let's talk about the fact that your autonomic nervous system, your HPA axis, and I know I'm getting a little bit more sciencey than I usually do in today's episode, but I just think it's important to really understand how all of this works. And I'll recap what all of this means. So your autonomic nervous system, which is the piece of your nervous system that basically keeps you alive, it keeps you breathing and digesting and all the things that you aren't really regulating consciously, as well as your HPA axis, which is the hypothalamus pituitary adrenal axis. So this connects basically the brain with the adrenal glands, and the nerves in your GI tract. They all link the gut and the brain. It's all part of that gut-brain connection we were talking about, which allows your brain to influence your GI tract. And also, I said this is a two-way street. It allows your gut to influence your mood, your cognition, your mental health, all of the things. So it really is a two-way street. So there have been studies showing even that mood disorders like anxiety and depression are linked with GI disruption, and vice versa. Mood and mental changes are often associated with GI issues like IBS and IBD. And there has been much research that shows that the microbiota in your gut profoundly influence that gut-brain relationship, which can affect your mental state, your emotional regulation, your neuromuscular function, your HPA axis regulation. So if you're not familiar with your microbiome, basically it is the collection of microbes that live in your GI tract. So there's a collection of microorganisms like bacteria and even fungi, and parasites that all live in your digestive tract. Now, this can go wrong, of course. We've all hear about these overgrowths and infections, and that is something that I definitely deal with within my one-on-one practice with clients. But your microbiome is really something that's beneficial for your body when it is functioning correctly, because those little microorganisms actually help to break down your food, and then in return they create byproducts that have so many healthy benefits in your body and can really influence that gut-brain relationship, which is so fascinating. So what that tells us is that when there is irritation in your gut, when there is dysbiosis, which is an imbalance in that gut bacteria, all of that can end up with you having changes in your mood, having heightened stress responses, having poor sleep, having anxiety, all of the things. So when your digestion is off, yes, you may have gut symptoms, but you might also have stress hormone issues, nervous system overdrive, and that can then end up impacting your hormones. And that's why in my new group program, the Aligned Gut Reset, which is kicking off in January, we are going to be working on all of it. We're going to be working on supporting your gut, supporting your nervous system, all of the things. Because, so we kind of talked about the gut-brain axis, how those two things relate to each other. And I wanted to throw in there too, when it comes to that gut-brain connection, I think I feel like I talked a little bit more about how your gut can influence your brain, the microbiome, all of that. But I think it's important to know too that there's a huge connection, especially when it comes to motility, which is the pace that your food is moving through your digestive tract, and just the ability for your body to send the correct signals to turn on and off the digestive juices when it's time. All of that is really regulated by the nervous system. And here's what ends up happening. When your body feels like it's under stress, which can be psychological stress, it can also be some form of internal stress. There's so many different ways that that can come into existence. But basically, when your body is struggling with this stuff, it ends up deprioritizing your digestion because your body is thinking that it really needs to be in that fight or flight mode. It needs to be ready to take on a fight, or it needs to be ready to run. And actively digesting is not really very conducive to that. In fact, digesting happens in a parasympathetic state, which is that calmer state of the nervous system, whereas the sympathetic state is the revved up, heightened version of the nervous system. Basically, nervous system on. And so when all of that's happening, the nervous system, the brain, isn't going to turn on all of these digestive friendly signals because it's noticing that, hey, we got to put all this on hold because we've got this situation to deal with. Which honestly is okay in the short term. Our bodies are built to do things like that in the short term. The problem that we run into is that for so many of us, our nervous systems are chronically dysregulated. We find ourselves very frequently, if not constantly, in fight or flight mode. And it's just very challenging for your body to try to keep up when all of that's happening. And then the end result of that is that then we end up having things like symptoms coming up. All of a sudden, we're bloated all the time. We're constipated. We are having hormone imbalances. Our mood is all over the place. Energy is all over the place. All of these things start to come up, but really it's a sign of what's going on underneath the hood. So, all that to say, when your body is under stress, that nervous system is turned on. It's in that sympathetic nervous system state. Your body really begins to prioritize survival and that ability to fight or run. It's not going to prioritize the regular daily functions. And so that impacts digestion. Oftentimes it will slow down. Sometimes it will speed up for some people. I've seen that as well. Nutrient absorption can be impacted. Your body's not going to absorb as many nutrients if it's under all that stress. It can impact gut motility, which can leave you just feeling bloated and yucky and uncomfortable. And it also starts to impact those hormone pathways. You're releasing cortisol and adrenaline all the time, which starts to interfere with your sex hormones and even your thyroid. Because again, your body is not going to prioritize reproduction when it's under stress. So the gut issues and the stress issues, nervous system issues, and the hormone issues are all interlocking. They're all connected. You really can't have one without the other. We can't expect to have perfect healthy hormones without a healthy gut. We can't expect to have a healthy gut without a healthy nervous system. And so it's really a matter of supporting the body as a whole in order to bring things back into balance. So, of course, I know the question that I'm going to be getting next is going to be, well, then how do you support your nervous system? And the main thing here is just letting your body know that it's safe. Letting your body know that everything is okay, that it's okay to come out of that fight or flight mode. So there's the beautiful thing is that there's so many different modalities for that these days. There are so many different ways to help to calm the nervous system and let your body know that it's safe. So what I really recommend is play with it a little bit, see what really works for you and resonates with you and helps you to feel supported and calmer and all of the things. But what that can look like are things like meditation, breath work, tapping, also known as EFT or emotional freedom technique. That can be journaling, that can be movement, right? But what I really recommend is just start to make this part of your day-to-day routine. And not in a way where you're just jam-packed it in. Okay, I have to fit in my 5 minutes of meditation because Alyssa said so. Not exactly. what I really want to see is that you are incorporating this into just part of your lifestyle, because these are the things that really help to nourish your body. So if you haven't experimented with those modalities before, definitely start to give that a try. These are all things that I love to introduce to my one-on-one clients. These are all things that we're going to be talking about within the new group program as well, the Aligned Gut Reset, because as you've heard, it's all important. It's all part of the puzzle. When it comes to the movement piece of it, I really love that as well, because when it comes to movement, that's really what we call completing the stress cycle, meaning you have stress during your day. We all do. It's okay. The point here isn't to eliminate all stress, but to know how to help to regulate your body in between. And so one thing that can be really helpful is adding some movement in. And I'm not talking super intense, HIIT fit kind of workouts. Those certainly have their time and their place as well. But I'm talking even things like go on a walk, do some yoga, do something to move your body so that you can help to complete that stress cycle and let your body know that it's now safe to come out of that fight or flight mode. So what I love to recommend is come up with some sort of morning and or evening routine with one or more of these modalities. It's not about shoving as many things as you can into your day, but it's about finding what really works to support and nourish you and sticking with that. And again, we're going to be working on all of this within the Aligned Gut Reset starting in January. We're going to be doing this as a group together, which is super powerful. So excited about that. So if you're feeling stuck in your healing journey, this triad of the gut, the nervous system, and the hormones, truly it might be the missing link for you. So if you would like to be a part of the upcoming Aligned Gut Reset, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be an 8-week group program. We're going to have live calls every week. You do have an option within that program to also upgrade to VIP status, which includes a GI map gut test and a one-on-one session with me to review that, as well as the group program. So I definitely recommend that VIP upgrade. If you're going to do it, you might as well go big or go home. And we're also going to be talking about all of this if you haven't joined already, we're in the middle of doing a 3-part live workshop series, the Gut Reset series. And we have done two of the parts of the series already. However, if you sign up for the 3-part series, you will get the previous 2 recordings, as well as the upcoming live workshop, which you're going to really love as well. It's all about the gut, mood, and energy. So if mood and energy are kind of your big struggles, then that can be super helpful for you. And that live workshop series is completely free. You can sign up for that with the link in the show notes or head over to www.alignedtorise.com/reset. That's alignedtorise.com/reset, or that link will be in the show notes. And same for the upcoming group program, the Aligned Gut Reset. That 8-week group program where we're going to really be taking a deep dive into how to support your gut. And as we've seen today, since all of the pieces really connect together, we're also going to be working on the nervous system and hormones at the same time. So while our focus is going to be on the gut because that is such a foundational piece, we are going to be working on all of that as well. So if you'd like to join in that, since this is going to be the very first of these group programs, I am currently looking for a small group of beta testers, basically. And so I'm offering this program at a discounted rate for this first group of people who joins me in January. So head on over to www.alignedtorise.com/gut, GUT, or the link for that will be in the show notes as well. I am offering a very limited number of seats for this first iteration of the program. So definitely be sure to jump in now if that's something that you would like to do, if you're ready to go ahead and hit reset on your gut and nervous system and hormones and all of the things. So can't wait to see you there, my friend, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for tuning in to Aligned to Rise. If this episode spoke to you, take a moment to share it with a friend who needs this message too. And then don't forget to hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. I'll see you next time, my friend. Let's rise together.